My name is Lisa Tan. I'm majoring in animal science with a creative emphasis, and I'm going to be talking about the recommendations for seasonal allergy management in Minnesota. According to the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, approximately 35 million people in the United States have reported upper respiratory symptoms due to pollen. According to, my prior research question was, what is the optimal allergy season management strategy for northern central Minnesota? However, due to insufficient data and lack of awareness for allergens, my revised research question is, what is the optimal strategy for allergy management for the majority of individuals in Minnesota? For my research paper, I used all corners of the triangle. For printed sources, I used journals such as the Journal of Allergies and Immunology. For electronic sources, I used Academic Search Premier and the Pollen Library. For empirical sources, I had two. I used a survey group and a focus group. For my methodology, I determined the severity of each participant's allergy symptoms. There are 3 levels of symptoms. There's mild, moderate, and severe. I allowed 2 possible settings, as stated before, for the participants based on convenience. For a focus group, I had 6 participants. They were college students. We met for about 45 minutes at the Kaufman Union. For the survey, I had 8 participants. They had actually a whole day to fill their whole survey and to return the survey to me. For the results, for figure 1 and breakdown of allergy severity, as shown, the majority of individuals have moderate allergy symptoms, which is significant. Mild allergy symptoms has 4 times more participants than the severe. For the poll of worst allergy symptoms, it was very beneficial for me to determine the worst time for allergy symptoms throughout the year, because only 2 of the 14 participants had received allergy testing. So with the summer majority of participants, because most of allergens pollination for summer and fall occur for weeds and grass, combining both of these results indicates that individuals have moderate allergy symptoms during summer and fall and have allergens for weed and grass pollen. Here is just results for the duration of allergy symptoms. 64% of the individuals showed 2 to 3 months for the duration of allergy symptoms. Here I only included the significant findings for the history of medication and treatment. The first 3 are antihistamines of Zyrtec, Allegra, and Benadryl. They're just based on satisfaction rate and efficiency. The last one, guanfacine, Mucinex. It was the only expectorant listed. However, it did receive high levels of satisfaction. Based on these findings, I recommend getting your allergies tested if you have moderate allergy symptoms. Knowing what your allergens that you are allergic to will help to prevent or maybe even avoid levels of allergy symptoms in the future. Also, by using an expectorant, such as Mucinex, in addition with one of these antihistamines, Allegra, Benadryl, and Zyrtec, moderate allergy symptoms can be alleviated for the severe seasons of summer and fall. That's it. Any questions?
This is Connor. You spoke briefly about the different types of pollen that happen in the different seasons. Could you say that again?
For the spring seasons in Minnesota, primary pollination happens for trees. It does continue into summer, but the primary is spring. For summer and fall, there are weeds and grass. Yes?
Hello. So what kind of limitations did you encounter while doing this research?
Well, I'd have to say the biggest limitation would have to be the size of my study. I had a total of 14 participants from the focus group and the survey, and just having more data would have given me more information. For example, some of the treatments and medications, like nasal irrigation, nasal spray, and immunotherapy, they had inconclusive findings that I couldn't base a recommendation upon those. Yep.
Connor, and did your focus group and your survey, did you collect any different information from the two groups, or was it pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same. I basically asked about severity, duration, common triggers. They were very similar because the questions used for the survey were identical to the questions used to guide discussion for the focus group. Yes?
This is Laura. You said that most people should get allergy tested if they were going, are most people born with allergies, or what age do they find out they have allergies? Can you like develop them as you get older?
Yeah, in fact, I developed all my allergies when I was 9 years old. I lived with moderate to severe allergy symptoms. I've had immunotherapy, and I even had an anaphylactic reaction to the shot treatment as well. So, yeah, you can definitely develop them, but it can also be genetic. Yep.
What like piqued your interest to pick this topic?
I have to say, just like my own personal experience with allergies.
This is Beth, by the way.
Yes.
This is Rachel. You said that your questions were pretty similar between the focus group and the survey. What was your purpose for doing the two different settings, the focus group and the survey?
It was mostly just convenience. Most of my participants could not meet at a certain time,
Okay.
so the survey allowed them to
Do it on their own?
do it
Okay.
on their own time. Any more questions? Yes?
This is Veronica. Were your participants, they were all from Minnesota, or were they from like different areas?
They were actually all students at the University of Minnesota.
Did you get any like research about like where they were from, like if they were from out of state or if they were like native to Minnesota?
No, for the university students, I mean, temporarily they are in the Minnesota region, so any allergies they have, experienced are characteristic to Minnesota, but I did not, try to get any more information about past habits. Any more questions?